Welcome to the Spunky Spirit Podcast. I'm your host, Psychic Medium Carrie Muggs. This is where we learn all things spirit, everything from spiritual gifts, awakenings, ghosts, aliens, and starseeds. Nothing is untouchable, but always fun and spunky. I am honored to be on this spiritual journey with you, so make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Hello, and welcome to this episode of Spunky Spirit. I'm Carrie Muggs. I am a professional psychic medium, and I try and help you understand all the things spiritual, as far as I know. So there's lots of different definitions out there, and but I teach you the things that I know and the things that worked for me, because that's all I know and that's all I can. So today we are going to talk about meditation. Meditation is, some people are scared of meditation and some people are not. Meditation can be scary because it makes you dig deep within yourself. Like, a lot of people are honestly scared to just sit in quiet and be alone. Now, I remember when I was younger, I didn't like to be alone. I had to have the TV on all the time. I had to have some sort of noise. And now I know it was because of my gift. I know it was because I would be able to hear things, or I would be able to, if I was in a quiet room, or I'd be able to see things. And I didn't want that. So I always wanted to have background noise. So honestly, if any of you guys have any children out there that are gifted or struggle with being at nighttime, I would definitely get a sound machine for them, so that way they can't hear different things and it takes their mind and they focus on that sound. But meditation for me, when I was growing up, I didn't really do meditation. I tried growing up to get rid of my gift as much as I could. I drank a lot. I didn't like it. I didn't want to tap into it. I thought it was scary because the people around me, the way they acted towards it, they didn't like it. So I thought it was supposed to be bad and evil. But I didn't really start meditating until after my divorce. I started to run a lot. And during my runs, would be when my mind would slip into a meditative state, because I was running long periods of time. I was running up to 11 miles, 17 miles. And so in that time, my mind would start meditating. And I remember sometimes during my runs, I would have to stop in the middle and just break down and cry, because I could feel that oneness, and I could feel that when you're, I don't know how to explain it, in the zone. And so even while I was running, so you can still have a meditative state while your body's still moving. You can do this while you're driving, while you're taking showers. In fact, I tell people after readings, if there's something that you don't know what it is during the reading today, when you're in a meditative state, like taking a shower, blow drying your hair, it might come back and you'll figure out, oh, that's what that was. So that's kind of what started meditation for me. And that's when I started to dig deeper into my gift, and I could start to understand the difference between what was actually my thoughts and what was actually spirit talking. And this goes back to our discussion in a past podcast about intuition and imagination. And so I could kind of start figuring that out. So I advise automatic writing for that too, because that does help. And I did some of that. But honestly, meditation is the number one thing that helped me recognize what was going on with my gift. Now, there's lots of different meditations, and I honestly, to be honest, I don't really know all of them. Like I can read them off but I just keep it simple. I keep mine super simple, and at first, because I have ADD, meditation was really hard for me. And I think that's why when I was running, it wasn't as hard, because I was keeping busy, but yet my mind was going in a different place because I was using the same running routes. And so I didn't, kind of like when you drive, you kind of just get in that meditative state. And so I just keep it super simple. But then I started realizing that this meditative state was pretty awesome. And I was learning more about me, and I was learning more about my feelings, and it was helping with my anxiety, and it was helping me be able to, it's not about controlling your thoughts. It's about your thoughts controlling you. So it kind of helps you learn that. So when I actually just kind of sat down and started meditating, like doing the whole sitting in, sitting in that position and closing, putting your palms up and doing the whole thing, didn't work for me because then that was just, my mind would go all over. But what I did start doing is I started using guided meditations, 10-minute guided meditations, and that helped a ton. So then my mind just kept going where it was supposed to. And I made sure that the guided meditations had a certain intention. Like, was it a relaxing meditation? Was it to open your chakras? Was it to talk to your guides? Like, every meditation that's guided has some sort of intention. And that's really big when you meditate too, is an intention, some sort of intention. And I think that deep-seatedly when I was running, my intention was to heal. I wanted to heal. I'd just gone through a major divorce, and I just wanted to heal. And so I think that that's what it did. It started to help me heal. So then when I started having some kind of, when I kind of felt, I could feel this feeling, or I felt this oneness, and I also felt more relaxed, then I started doing meditation without being guided. And I started doing 5 minutes and then 10 minutes. Now, here's the thing. I don't care what anybody tells you. You are not going to be able to sit and have absolutely nothing in your mind. That is just not, maybe some people do, but I've had other mediums and other spiritual people say it just, it doesn't happen. If you've had that experience, that's awesome. But I've never had it. I do, though, when I meditate. Meditation helps me realize what is mine and what is spirit's. So what the difference is between that. And a lot of people, when they start to meditate, when they start to get in the zone, or they start to, feel these feelings, or they start to feel this oneness, it scares them. And not because it's a bad thing, it's because it's different. They don't understand it. You don't understand it at first. And so meditation takes so much practice. Like honestly, running with meditation, I did that for about a year. And then I started doing guided meditation for about 6 months. And then I did my own personal private meditation without any noise for the rest of the 6 months. And I started 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then I did get down to where I really meditated for an hour every day, but now it's down to about 20 minutes. And the thing about it is it does. And honestly, too, there's no rules. I know some people like to make rules with meditation. I know some people like to tell you how to do it. But whatever works for you, whatever connects you, like a walk in nature, or a run, or golfing, or doing whatever you do, if that connects you and you feel spirit and you can hear spirit, then that works for you. A lot of people say that you have to do your breath a certain way, which I didn't at first. And I know there's such thing as breath work, but honestly, I think the reason why that they have you focus on your breath is so you focus on your breath and not on all of your thoughts that are coming in. And that's okay too. But I just don't want you to get so focused on your breath that you miss the point of meditation. I know Esther Hicks, when she channels a spirit called Abraham, and when she first started meditating, she thought Abraham was talking to her. This collective of spirits was talking to her, kind of in the beginning, but she was told that you're supposed to push all your thoughts out of your brain or out of your mind during meditation, and so she pushed those out. She pushed him out, and so. When really, in reality, she's just realizing what her thoughts were and what Abraham's were. And that's kind of knowing the difference. So that's kind of where you're at. Now, meditation, I have to be honest, it takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of being able to sit in quietness in your own stuff. It's very healing. And yeah, your triggers are going to come up, your things are going to come up, and you know what? That's okay. I'm going to actually give you the definition of meditation. Meditation is a practice in which an individual uses a technique such as mindfulness or focusing the mind on a particular object, thought, or activity to train attention to awareness and achieve mental clarity, mentally clear and emotional calm, stable state. I always tell my students that meditation mostly is for it. You're not going to have a lot of out of the box experiences when you meditate. You will sometimes. I've had some awesome experiences during meditation, but only like maybe a handful, because what meditation actually does is it puts you in a state of awareness. So then you know what it feels like. You understand it, and you know the difference between you and spirit. And then when you go throughout the day and you're busy and you're doing stuff and you have a spiritual moment or you have a sign or you have something, because of all the meditation you've done, you are aware. You're aware of it. And you're like, okay, you kind of, it helps you, meditation helps you be able to be more aware and more clear throughout other parts of the day. Now, there was a time during my meditation that spirit would play kind of games with me. And this is right before, and I'm not saying games, I'm training kind of. And I would do, this is when I was doing it an hour a day, right before I started doing, really doing mediumship professionally. I've always done readings. I've always done, readings here and there, mediumship readings. But when I really focusing on it as a profession, I would do the hour readings every day, sitting down, and spirit would show me different things clairvoyantly, and then throughout the day, I would see those things. And that was kind of cool because I know that spirit was kind of training me, getting me prepared to do this work for other people, because you've got to kind of figure out your own stuff before you can help other people, right? So so it's not always going to be like, not every single meditation is going to be awesome and extraordinary. Now, have I had meditations where it's been awesome and extraordinary? Yes, there's been lots. There's another thing I want you to think about too. I always used to think sometimes when I would meditate, I would kind of almost fall asleep, and I would be like so frustrated in myself thinking, okay, I can't. But sometimes I would get some of the best information when I was in between that half asleep and half awake thing. Like, I knew I was awake. I knew what I was getting. I call it the Tinkerbell Time. And that is like the easiest time for spirit to reach you. And sometimes during my meditations, I would slip into that a little bit. And those are when I would have like some of the most awesome experiences. So just know there is no right or wrong at all on how to meditate. You do what works for you. Now, I do recommend that you make sure you wear something comfortable, because there's nothing more irritating than you trying to meditate and you have, a belt that's too tight or something that's bugging you, or because this is going to take you out of the zone. It's going to take you out of the zone. You're going to get in the zone, and then it's going to take you out. And also to find a quiet place. If you need sound or music, lots of people are like, you shouldn't do that. You do you. If it works for you, do you. I've had extraordinary meditations listening to music. Not music with words, but like instrumental. I know that there was one meditation that I loved for a long time on YouTube by Wayne Dyer, and he was on YouTube, and I would play that and I would have awesome experiences during that too. So you do what works for you. Now, there are different kinds of meditations, but I gotta be honest, you set the intention before you go in. So if you're doing a guided meditation, you find the guided meditation that works for what you want. If you're doing one that helps you connect to your guides, you find that. If you're doing one that helps you heal your body and your chakras, you find that. Now, if you're doing meditation by yourself without being guided, then you set that intention. Right? There's things called loving kindness meditation, which I kind of hope all my meditations have loving kindness in it, but it helps you when you're like angry or frustrated, or you have personal conflict, sometimes you can sit and just surround yourself automatically in pink light. Now, what I do want to tell you too is when you do meditate, please protect yourself. Please surround yourself with white light. Please do something. So, imagine something around you. Just protect yourself so you're not so open to, because when you meditate, your frequency gets higher. And so it can just protect yourself. Just protect yourself. Now, body scan meditation. This is when you're trying to heal. This is kind of when, in the beginning of meditations, when they kind of go through your whole body and you relax, and they do kind of a short version of that. But this one is, body scans are more like you kind of go over yourself. I've had a couple of these, but I didn't start with the intent of that. Like I started, I think it was honestly in a tanning bed like a couple years ago, a red light. And I kind of went into a meditative state, and all of a sudden I am, in this meditative state, there was this, I could feel this light or feel this going through my body and doing a body scan. Now, did I sit down and deliberately say, okay, I'm going to do a body scan meditation? No, but it just kind of happened. So that can sometimes happen. This happens better, I feel like, when you're laying down flat, though. And then mindfulness meditation, this is just putting you to be in the present. This one is what I feel like when you meditate helps you throughout the day. When you, the loving kindness one is giving yourself love, loving yourself, focusing on you and how great you are. You can say affirmations during that. The body scan is about healing. Mindfulness meditation teaches you to be in the now. And that's what mostly meditation for me does. It teaches me throughout the day to notice and be aware of what's going on, to notice the signs, to notice and to be aware of what's going on now. Like, for example, when you're in, because your life isn't always, even spiritual people, it's not all, we still have to pay bills. We're still human. We still have to go to the grocery store. We still have to do all those things. But mindful meditation helps you to, when you're in those things and something happens, it helps you to live in the now and not be so worried about the past and focusing on stress of the future. So, breath awareness meditation. Now, breath work can be pretty amazing. Breath work is awesome. I've heard really, really great things about it. And also, sorry, my voice. Also, I have had meditations where I count my breathing. I have not had, now breath work is different than breathing meditation, I think. So breath work is when you focus on your breath the whole time, and that can be pretty extraordinary. But when I have found that when I'm meditating and I count my breaths, I'm so busy in my mind counting my breaths that I don't have any kind of cool experiences, but that's okay. Now, they also mention Kundalini yoga. Now, I know about this, but this is a whole different thing. This is Kundalini. This is something that is in your back. This is a meditation that blends movement with breathing and mantras. It adds all of it together. And some people had some pretty crazy experiences with Kundalini. So it can open, my suggestion with Kundalini is you do it when you're ready, because that thing can open you up pretty fast, and sometimes it opens you too fast and you're not ready. So you just kind of take it slow and follow your own heart and what you think. Zen meditation is a form of meditation that can be part like the Buddhist practice. I kind of don't know. The goal is to just be in a comfortable position, focus on your breathing, and observe your thoughts while they come in and not be judgment on this. So this one could be like you sit and you kind of observe as your thoughts come in. You notice that they might be triggers and not be judgment of them. Don't judge your thoughts while you're having them. And then that could help too. I've never really done a Zen one. Most of my meditations have been to focus on me or focus on spirit. And transcendental meditation. It's a meditation where you remain seated, you breathe slowly, and you're supposed to, it's kind of an out-of-body experience. You kind of rise above yourself and you can watch that. I've never done that. I've done that when I've had out-of-body experiences when I have been in the Tinkerbell zone, but I've never done it during meditation. And my out-of-body experiences, I am not like some people. Everybody has a different kind of out-of-body experience. I've never actually my spirit hasn't left my body and I look back and see my body. I just know I'm in a different dimension, I'm in a different place, and I'm somewhere else. And that for me has been, a lot of people just have this set stone and this is how it's supposed to be with meditation, or this is how it's supposed to be with out-of-body experiences, and it's not. Everybody's different. Just like we all have different clairs that we use, we all have different spiritual experiences, and it's different for everybody. So just whatever you feel is right for you, that's what works for you. So the one thing I do know about meditation, though, is it takes a lot of practice. It's not super easy out the gate. It's not super awesome all the time. It can be a little bit difficult at times. Just like everything else, just like intuition is something you've got to practice, meditation is something you've got to practice. So, and you do what helps you first. And if you can't sit in a quiet room for a minute, then start using guided or start using music. I guarantee you, the more you do it, the better you'll get. That's why automatic writing is so good, because it does put you in a state of meditation, but it also helps you write out some of the thoughts that are going through your head, or subconsciously, or spirit that's coming through, and you get to it helps you decide who is who. Now, there is something called, what mediums call sitting in the power. And so this is a different kind of form of meditation. This is when for me, now it could be different for every medium. Every medium's got their own definition of sitting in the power. Now, if you've ever had a reading with me, you kind of know that my personality is da 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 da, and then when I sit and do a reading, I do scribble, and that kind of helps me stay busy so I can focus on the information coming through. It's kind of a meditation for me. I scribbled so I can hear what's going on, because instead of like my mind going a million miles an hour, my hand is going, and then I can get the thoughts that I need. Sitting in the power is when you have meditated. It's between you and spirit. It's when you get to that point where you can automatically go into that meditative state and trust spirit enough, or the spirits that are coming through, or the information that's coming through. You just trust them so completely, and you surrender to it, that you know without a doubt what's yours and what's theirs. And I couldn't do readings without this, sitting in the power. And can I explain the difference of how it feels? No, because I kind of go into not a trance-like state, but I kind of go into my friends have said, I am a different person when I'm doing readings than I am when I'm not. So it's almost like, and I don't know if sitting in the power means sitting in your own power or sitting in spiritual power. I just know a lot of mediums. I didn't even really know what sitting in the power was until this last year, when I saw a lot of mediums talk about it. And I'm like, oh, that's what I do. When I do readings, it's a different form of meditation for me than when I just do regular meditation. Sitting in the power is a relationship between me and spirit and my guides, and I trust completely. I trust. And I've noticed too that the more I let go of fear, and the more I do readings, and the more sitting in the power has been better for me. And so it's this place where and I don't know, maybe everybody can sit in the power, but I know a lot of mediums use this wording, and it's just that place where you are, where you trust. You just trust. You hand over to spirit, and you trust spirit, and you let spirit guide you, and you're not worried about your thoughts. You're not worried about what's yours. You just trust spirit. And this is when information or other spirits can come through, and you trust that it's all good. You don't question whose is what and what is what, and the cool things that happen. There's just information. It's almost like you sit in this vortex, and this loads of information come through you, and you are a tool for that. And that's sitting in the power. And so for me, it is anyways. I am going to, the reason why I chose meditation this month is because I am going to, in my group, in my Facebook group, Spunky Tribe, this month we're going to focus on meditation. We're going to talk about meditation. We're going to find different ways to help with meditations. I probably will download some meditations or put some meditations in this group. So I will put the group link in the show notes for you. And also too, this month I'm going to put together a meditation program or a meditation challenge, like 30 days of meditation, or maybe 7 weeks of meditation. I'm working on the workbook now, and I'm going to have meditations available. And I'm also, this one will be like maybe $9.99 or $10. It's going to be like a meditation practice that helps you do it for a month. So it makes you maybe start to do it as a routine. And that's what helped me, is I would do it the same time every morning. And I always did it in the morning, and I always did at the same time and at the same place. And so it helped me feel comfortable. So I'm going to put that workbook out this month too. So watch for that on my Facebook or in the Spunky Tribe or on Spunky Spirit Facebook or on my Instagram at Carrie Muggs. So because next week we're going to do questions for Carrie. So if you have any questions for me for next week's podcast, any kind of spiritual questions, any type of questions, you can send them to me at Carrie, Cari, at carriemuggs.com, CARIMUGZ.com, or I will probably put something, question and answers, up on my stories on my Instagram. So, and as always, I am trying really hard to help get this information out there. I am booked out for about 5 months as far as reading goes. And here's why. If I could do more readings, or if I could do more, I would. But I can only do 3 a day. If I do more than that, then the readings aren't very good. And that's not fair to you guys. And if I do more than 3 a day, I get sick. So don't think that I'm doing this because I can only do 3 a day for my well-being, for my health. Seriously, if I do more, I get physically ill. And that I proved that to myself this summer. And if I do more than 3 a day, it's not fair to those who are the fourth reading, because they're not, after I do 3 a day, once I do more than 3, it's not great. They don't hit my expectations. So if you DM me, or you call me, or you try and reach out and say, hey, I need a reading today, or I need it as soon as possible, I'm not being rude. I just am already booked out. I've already got my 3 a day planned for the next couple weeks. And so if I fit you in, it's not going to be a very good reading, and that's not fair to you. So just know it's not selfishness. I have high expectations of my readings and myself, and I don't want to do them half-assed. And so for those of you who kind of reach out and say you need one, if I can't get you in, I really can't get you in because it won't be good for you. It won't be a good reading. So just keep that in mind. It's not about me being biatchy. It's not about me being mean. It's me taking care of me and taking care of you, because you don't want a reading from me that isn't good. I'm just saying. So there you go. Meditation for February. That's going to be the theme of the month. That's going to be the theme of my Facebook group. That's going to be, I'm going to have some information coming out about that. Also, I do have a mediumship class in Idaho Falls on February 26th. It's a Saturday. I'm going to have a mediumship class, and I'm in the works of putting that out. You can also see everything about that on my website and in Carrie Connects, and also on Instagram. Don't forget to watch Carrie Connects every Monday. That is on Instagram and on YouTube and on my website. So that's a lot coming up for this year. For February. So we're going to get going and start this off. And I'm also working on, in my membership, I did this thing called Coffee with Carrie, and you could we met on Zoom every 2 weeks, and you could ask whatever questions you wanted to. And I think I'm going to somehow bring that back, but it's going to be in a subscription form. It's not going to be very expensive. It'll probably be like $4.99 a month. and maybe once a month. I'm still working on the deets of that. So just kind of know that that's kind of an option, because I do know that my tribe does miss that. That was kind of fun. We did have fun doing that. So, okay. I love you guys. If you have any questions for next week's episode, please DM me, please email me, please get them out there, and I will and I will answer them for you next week. And happy meditation. Don't worry about it. Just keep practicing, keep trying your best. And even if you can only do 2 minutes at a time, that's great. Don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself some grace. It takes time, it takes practice, but it's so, so worth it. Okay, awesome guys. I'll see you next week.